And take the set of therapy balls right to the outside of the shoulder, right around the mid tricep area on the outside of the shoulder. And we're just going to do a little rolling. Just lean into it, a little bend of the knees, right to the outside bony edge of the shoulder, so the acromion, and then back down. We're just going to roll over the deltoids to begin. And you don't have to push too hard, just the weight of your body is going to do the work. Excellent, perfect. And then we have 3 portions to our deltoid. So as you're probably coming down a little bit, you'll feel, and maybe about the middle third of the humerus or the upper arm bone, you'll feel a spot that's maybe a little bit more tender where the deltoids attach. And you can hang out there, sustain compression, keep some stillness, or you can keep rolling. So that's right at the middle deltoid. And now I want to make sure that we get the posterior deltoid and the anterior deltoid as well. So if you just angle yourself away, reposition a little bit, now you're going to get the back side of the shoulder. So just keep those balls wedged there, having them together in the toe, and trying not to work so hard. It's just like a little bounce, like a little kid. You don't have to squat real hard. Just gently move up and down, lean right into the balls, and the weight of your body does the work for you. You can even, if you find a tender spot, just hang out right there. Take a couple deep breaths. Allow it to soften underneath you. And then when you feel like you've smoothed out any spots along the back shoulder, then angle yourself towards the wall a bit. And then let's get the front aspect of the deltoid. So now going over the front kind of cap of the shoulder. And here I'm kind of lunging into the wall, just leaning into it, pedaling a little bit with my back foot. Keeping your arm, whatever arm you're rolling, really relaxed, like it's just hanging there. Letting gravity pull it down. And then again, if you find a spot of sensation, maybe just pause and hold. Take a few deep breaths. So now we're going to roll across the back of the shoulder. And this roll I find is easier against the wall, so we'll do it here. We're basically going to roll against the back of the shoulder blade and get a little twist, and then roll back towards the inside edge of the shoulder blade. Now we're rolling across the back of the shoulder blade, out to the back of the shoulder, and then back to center. If you feel like you're not getting much pressure here, or you need a little bit more, you can come back down to the floor if you'd like. I'm just showing you options. You can start there and then see how it feels, and I'll just show you here as well, so you have it as a reference. And you would sort of twist over, rotating the trunk over, and this is a lot more pressure. So I find that the wall is a bit easier to move on, but I want you to know that you have another option if you're like, I'm just not getting anything here. And if you feel like you need a little bit more, you could also take just one of the balls out of the tote, and then it will be a little bit more localized. So spend a few more moments wherever you are, sweeping across the back of the shoulder blade, the posterior, the back rotator cuff muscles. And we'll get into these a little bit more specifically when we get to the floor as well. Right now, we're doing a little bit more general rolling, warming up all those areas. Increasing blood flow, increasing proprioceptive awareness. And now let's switch sides. Let's see if I can do it on this little space so you can still see me. So start on the outside cap of the shoulder. I think I'm right at the edge. And then just on the outside of the shoulder, a little roll up and down. Leaning in, letting your body weight do the work. Try to let the arm be heavy. Your body's doing the work and the arms are just hanging in gravity. Maybe to reassess if the arm's relaxing, you can just find a moment of stillness right around that insertion point of the deltoid and hang out there. Shake the fingers, soften the elbow, and then continue rolling again just to make sure that you're not using the arm to do the work, but the body does the work for you. And then turn away from the wall so that you get the back cap of the shoulder. Placing the balls along the back of the shoulder, still rolling up and down with the legs. Nice and gentle. And then now turn and face the wall. Angle yourself towards the wall so that you get the front cap now of the shoulder. Just exploring, being curious. Where are you feeling sensation? Pausing at those points of sensation. I lunge when I do this direction, and I sort of pedal from my back foot so that nothing in the upper body is doing the work. I'm keeping it soft and relaxed, just going along for the ride. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, let's change direction and go across the back of the shoulder. So balls stacked one on top of the other. Oops, that happens. Going now from the edge of the shoulder blade out towards the back of the shoulder. Kind of twisting a little bit into the balls. And then sweep back towards the midline. Don't cross the spine. And then out along the back of the right shoulder blade. Again, you have the option of coming down to the floor if you want a little bit more, or you can take one ball out of the tote as well. Maybe pause if you have a particular point of sensation, stopping and breathing and allowing the body to soften into that sensation. And then stepping your feet back in, taking your therapy balls out. We'll do one more wall roll. And again, I'll show you another option to do this on the floor. You're going to take the therapy balls right between the shoulder blades, lean up against the wall, walk the feet out. And again, you're just going to do a little bend and straighten, a little squat, but more of a roll. Lean into the balls. Trying to get mine straight. Right between the shoulder blades. If you'd like, wrap your hands around, trying to reach the inside border of the shoulder blades. And then you're gonna get even more contact in that space between the shoulder blades. This is super important, the mobility back here, to allow the shoulder blades to upwardly rotate, so the shoulder blades to move forward and up on the rib cage to get that overhead motion so that we don't get pinching overhead. And stay there, or maybe if you feel like it, if you want a little bit more pressure, you could come to the floor. I'll show you my favorite way. Balls still between the shoulder blades. Take a Coregeous ball or a foam roller underneath your hips. And now, with the foam the hips on the foam or on another ball, you get a little bit more weight into those segments between the shoulder blades. And here I really just like to land on the balls and just breathe along different segments. Wherever you are, take a few more breaths there, exploring that territory between the shoulder blades. And then we're going to come in more specifically in just a minute. So keep on going. So now take your balls out of the toe, please. We're going to have them in a similar place along the inside edges of the shoulder blades, but here we're going to separate them a bit. So take them out and place them right here on your back. So they're not quite touching anymore along the spine. They're right at the edges of the shoulder blades. And go ahead, lie down, knees bent. And it might take a minute just to get that just right position between the shoulder blades. Try to get them even. And then let the head relax. Keep the knees bent. Head is heavy. If you're feeling like the head tips back really far, maybe a little pillow or just a little blanket under the head will help you keep the neck more neutral. And just notice your initial reaction as you arrive here. With increased pressure on that area, the tendency is to tighten up a little bit. So I want you to think about softening and breathing right into the mid-back where the body and the balls meet. And now from here, as you breathe in, just with little effort as possible, slide your shoulders up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, slide your shoulders down towards your feet. Again, inhale, shoulders up towards your ears, sliding the ball along the inside border of the shoulder blade, and then slide the shoulders down towards your feet. Make sure that you're driving this motion from the shoulder blades and you're keeping the elbows soft. So really be conscious of not bending and straightening the elbows, but it's a shrugging of the shoulder blades up and down. Being careful not to hyperextend the elbows. Keeping the arms resting on the floor so they're sliding. And then pause and see if you can let the shoulder back along the balls a little bit more. And maybe just reposition if they need to go up or down a little bit. Listen to the sensations of your body to find that just right, sustainable spot. You can do that by taking your hand to move the balls or just lifting the hips and dragging them up or down a little bit. And now let's bring the arms up toward the sky. So kind of like puppet arms, soft elbows, soft fingers. Feel the shoulder blades drop back around the balls rather. And then as you exhale, reach the fingers towards the ceiling, pushing the shoulder blades apart. And then let the shoulder blades fall back over the balls again. And then push the shoulder blades apart so that you're reaching towards the sky. Let's do that a few times. Shoulders drop, and then shoulders reach towards the sky. Try to keep the neck long so that the shoulders are not pulling up towards the ears, but you're moving the shoulder blades on the rib cage. One breath per motion, a couple more rounds, reaching the shoulder blades apart. Feeling the therapy balls right at the edge of the shoulder blades. Peeling the shoulder blades away from the rib cage and away from the spine. And then now let's progress this movement. So take a breath in here with both arms reaching towards the sky. As you exhale, one arm comes up overhead, one comes down by your hand, by your hip, like a scissor. And then take a breath in, reach in opposite directions. And then as you exhale, switch totally to the opposite direction. Take a breath in, reaching overhead and towards your foot in opposite ways, and then switch. Again. And then switch. Again. And switch. 2 more times in each direction. Moving one breath per motion. Really letting your breath lead the way. Reaching from where the ball and the body meet. So think about that motion overhead is starting on the middle of your back. And then let both arms drape down by your sides. And turn the palms upward so that you feel the edges of the shoulder blades push into the therapy balls. Again, reposition to find that just right spot. And now, gently, like a snow angel, keeping your hands on the ground, start to bring the arms up towards a Y position. This first round, I'm stopping probably right around a T, and then I'm coming back down. So go to where you feel resistance or a barrier to movement and pause there. We'll do it about 8 to 10 times. So allow yourself time to get the arms up overhead. If you're feeling any pulling into the fingers, into the forearms, any carpal tunnel type symptoms or nerve type symptoms, really think about keeping the arms soft. It might even be just a little straighten out towards a Y and then bend towards a W type position. I'm thinking of you, David. That might work better for you versus straight arm at your elbow. So try different variations and you'll feel how the therapy balls really start to mobilize all along that border between the shoulder blade and the ribs. Focus on your breathing, syncing your breath to movement. We have about 3 more rounds, and then we'll take the balls out for a moment. Last time, all the way up. And you'll notice how much different this last round feels versus the first round. And then you'll really feel how great it is once you remove the therapy balls. So roll to your side, take both of the balls out, and just lie totally flat on your back. And just feel your whole body sink into the floor. And you'll feel how much those shoulder blades now drop towards the floor. Feel the shoulder blade heavy on the mat. Turn the palms up to assist that backward glide of the shoulder blades even more. And take a couple deep breaths, trying to now send the breath to the mid-back in that space right between the shoulder blades. Okay, now we're going to come into the shoulder blades now. So we were just at the edges of the shoulder blades. Now we're going to come to the outside edge of the shoulder blade, right where the posterior rotator cuff is. So where the rotators of the shoulder are, and the lats also come through here too. So we're going to get into that area in the back of the shoulder. This is where I'll give you, again, a couple options. You can take the therapy ball you're using, place it on a block or a couple thick books. And we're going to lie over it, bringing this part right here. If you kind of clamp underneath the armpit, there's a bit of a meaty part right at the edge of the shoulder blade, in the little triangle of the shoulder blade. So that's going to come to here. This is a great option. It might feel really intense though. So the more you relax and lean into, the more pressure you'll have. If this is too point tender, like too tender, you have a couple other options. If you have a larger ball could substitute because it's going to be a little broader, so there'll be a broader point of contact right here. Or if it just feels way too tender, a foam roller or a Coregeous ball could also work. Coregeous ball sits really nicely in there, and so does the foam roller. So try different things that might work for you. And just breathe into that space now. Yeah, the Melts foam roller is great in this. And if you're on that foam roller, you might even find that you rotate over it a little bit. Or if you're on the Coregeous ball, you kind of rotate the trunk forward and back. I'll show different options to accommodate people for what they have. And then try to let the head be heavy too. And so you'll get this gentle rocking over, and then really try to send your breath to that armpit region. Just for the people that have balls, I'm going to come back because this is probably the most tender option so that I can judge for those of you that are in this more intense variation. And see if you can let go of the head. And again, you can first rock with the trunk forward and back, rolling over, finding that just right spot. Then just allow yourself to breathe into where the ball and the body meet. And now bend your elbow wherever you are so that your hand is towards the sky. And now instead of rolling the body, we're going to keep the body still and we're going to move the arm. So we're going to get a little rotation in the arm, down and then back. And you'll feel how you rotate over, kind of like you're strumming a guitar, the back of the shoulder. Try to keep good space between the neck and the shoulder. And then if you find a point of sensation in one of those rotations, you can just pause there and hold. Then if you rotated one way, notice if there's a point in the motion going the other way where you get sensation. And then pause and sink into that, feeling the sensations settle. Welcoming the sensation and leaning into it, giving yourself external support, maybe by placing your other hand down until it softens. And then maybe a few more passes if it feels right. Or sustain the compression and stillness if that feels right too. For one more breath. And then we'll come on up and we'll shift to the other side. So you can all just roll over. I'll shift I'll shift side so I can still see you. And same thing on the other side now. Right to the outside edge of the shoulder blade. So where the shoulder and the shoulder blade meet, right in that L here, in the back of the rotator cuffs, of the rotator cuff muscles. So if I show you from the side, it's right here. So now come over your ball or your phone. If you need any suggestions, please let me know. I saw a bunch of you go grab bigger balls or foam roller. Katie, the alpha ball is really great here. I like that. Maybe I'll do the alpha ball on this side. Yeah, that was perfect, Jamie. Jamie just took her block to her head to support her head so she didn't have to hold it up. Yeah. So if you feel like you're efforting to hold your head, give yourself a little support. Do whatever you need to allow your body to be as much ease as possible so that you can get the body to soften into the sensation. Maybe begin by a gentle rocking forward and back, so rocking the body over the sensation. Yeah. Pausing at any point in the twist where you feel like you just need to take a deep breath if you find yourself tightening up. This is one of those spots that we don't usually have very good awareness of. It's a spot that oftentimes will feel either extra tender, almost painful, or it can be a spot where it actually feels kind of numb, where it's like, I'm not quite sure where I am when we don't have good orientation of how to use these muscles. And then as you're ready, bending that arm, kickstanding your elbow to the ground. Now keeping the elbow at 90 degrees from the shoulder, rotate the hand towards the floor, and then rotate the hand back. Yes. And now the body's staying still, and you're strumming over those rotator tendons. So if you're not feeling anything, just give the ball a little adjustment, and you should feel how you roll right over some tendons in the back of the shoulder. You might even get a little bloop, bloop if it's really tight. Or you might find at one point of the range it's particularly tender. So as you find a tender point in the range, pause there and just breathe into it. Breathing and softening the body, letting the jaw be relaxed, the head be relaxed, until you feel a sensation start to dissipate. And then maybe you come back to the rocking and find another point in the range. Letting the head be soft and relaxed. Letting the eyes maybe close. Focusing on the breath and where the body meets the ball. Take 2 or 3 more breaths. Pausing or rotating. And then coming up. Remove all of your props and stay in sitting now. So if you have your block, you could actually sit on it. It might just feel nice to elevate the hips a little bit. Or you can kneel. I really like kneeling for this variation as well, because it helps keep you more upright, as long as it's comfortable on your knees. So if it's not comfortable on your knees, maybe sit on something. And then we're going to do a little flossing to the shoulders now. So take whatever you have, belt, strap, dog leash, bathrobe, wrap. Take the arms up overhead. Bring the arms, let them drag out along the strap, and then let them come behind you to that point of resistance. So they can't quite come all the way back. Keep the elbows a little bit soft and drag the shoulder blades down the back so that you're not overextending through the elbows. And then just bring the hands out, slide them out with resistance until you can let the arms come down and around. Beautiful. Once you arrive there, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, arms come up and then pass overhead and back to the front. And then I have to choke up just a little bit because it loosened up just a little. And then now we'll do that again. We'll come up and then right, just as much length as you need to scrape through. And you might notice one side goes through more easily than the other, and then come back up the same way. Chew your own breath now, back and forth, maybe 5 or 6 more times. Circling the arms all the way around. Keeping enough tension. I think, Dolores, maybe you might need a little bit more length. Try to stay out of that. Try to stay out of this, but like keep the arms long. Yeah. I'm just watching. And then come up and around again. Let me see, Dolores. Yeah. There you go. That looks good, actually. That looks good. Yeah. Nice. Good. Yeah. Try to keep, Katie, as your arms come up overhead, try to keep the shoulder blades down. So like at the top, keep going. Yeah, drop the shoulder blades and then maybe give yourself just a little bit more length so that you can come around smoothly. Perfect. Try to do 1 or more 2 rounds so that you're moving nice and smooth. Great. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now we have one bit of effort to do. I want to do a little shoulder blade strengthening. The shoulder blades are just the foundation of the shoulders and so critical to have healthy mobility. So we're going to end with we have one more activity, one more exercise, and then one really nice, beautiful, just release. So for this exercise, you're going to take your blocks or 2 thick books. They don't have to be quite this thick. And we're going to lie down on our bellies. The therapy balls are going to go right here in the front of the shoulders, right on the blocks. So right at the edge of the ball of the shoulder, right at the front of the joint. Yeah. So make your way there. Yep. And I have the books or the blocks angled a little bit. And the top middle corner is where I'm placing the balls. So I think you can all see this. And here I go, all the way down. And then let your head rest on the floor. And then you'll be able to follow my cues. So find that just right spot. You might have to hug them in a little bit, those blocks in a little bit, so that whatever you have under the balls is supporting the front of the shoulders. And then let the hands drape down by your sides with your palms facing up. Now, from here, pinch the shoulders back and then lift the arms up towards the sky so that you engage the shoulder blades. And hold for 5, 4. Come all the way down to your belly. So Jeannie, hips down on the floor. Yeah, come all the way down in this version. Yeah, that is a nice mobilization with the hips up, but we're gonna do some overhead movement too. So all the way on your belly. So pinch the shoulder blades together. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then come down. Feel yourself drench the shoulder blades together. Lift the arms up, engaging your triceps. And down. 3 more on your own time. Holding each round for about 5 seconds. And then release. Now, arms come out like a T, like an airplane. Thumbs up towards the sky. Just barely a micro bend in the elbows so that you don't hyperextend them, because I want the motion to come from the shoulder blades. So now pinch the shoulder blades together in your mid-back. Lift the arms straight up with thumbs up towards the sky. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then down. So arms in a capital T position with thumbs pointing up. Lift again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then down. 3 more rounds on your own count, feeling the activity between the bottom corners of the shoulder blades. And then now, arms come up overhead like a Y. I just had to reposition my balls and my support, so the book or the block just a little bit. I had to pull them in just slightly. And then now arms up like a Y, like Superman, thumbs up towards the sky. Now with the arms overhead, lift up. If the balls here are too much, you can also do this activity just lying on your belly without the balls or the blocks. You can just get that capital Y action here with your forehead supported on the floor. And that will get nice activation in the shoulder blades. So even if you don't have that extra ball, that's okay. 4 more times. In whichever way best serves you. Arms up like a Y overhead. Holding each for a count of 5. Pinch, thumbs up, lift, Y for 3, 2, 1. 1 more round. Lift the thumbs point up. Hold the arms up now in that capital Y position on your belly. If the balls are not working, just take them out and still do this. Still lift the arms up from the floor. Now turn your palms to face down. Keep the arms lifted and pinch the elbows down by your hips. And then reach them back to a Y. Pinch so that you come to like a capital W now. 4 arms are parallel with the floor, so forearms are lifted. And then reach back up. You should be feeling the burn in the mid-back. Pinch. And back up. Pinch down. almost like a lat pull down, but floating in the air. Do 2 more good ones. Feel the mid-back start to burn and that space between the bottom corners of the shoulder blades. Last time. And then let the arms come down, remove all the props. Let your head turn to the side and your hands come by your sides. Let the shoulder blades drop towards the floor and feel the breath fill that space between the shoulder blades. And now the very last thing, this is one of my favorite rolls, so some of you that have been to my class before have probably done this. Right in that belly of the upper trap is someone who's going to squeeze the tops of your shoulders. You're going to lie on your back, take your therapy balls there. So right at the top of the upper traps in the meaty corner, right where the neck and the shoulder meet. When you lie down like this, you won't feel much. So the pressure and release into that comes when you lift your hips up either on a foam roller, a block, or a Coregeous ball. So lift the hips. And then now let the arms float up towards the sky and then rest overhead. Come here, you did it. Spend about a minute here, totally unwinding. Letting go of any last bit of tension on the tops of your shoulders. Letting the weight of the world just drop back into the floor. Closing your eyes, unhinging your jaw. Coming into this restorative, gentle inversion. So hips are supported on books, a block, a foam roller, the Coregeous ball, whatever you have, so that you can just feel all of your weight drain out of your upper traps into the floor. Hanging out here as long as you need, pausing until all sensation subsides. Any tenderness will melt away as those muscles soften, and you'll just be left with the pressure of the balls. So without rushing, stay there as long as you need, but when you're ready, go ahead and remove the block from underneath your hips. Remove the props. Take a moment just falling completely into the floor and resting there. And then as you're ready, whenever you're ready, you can come to sitting.